What's up guys, welcome back to another video. So today we're going to talk about arcade. So I couldn't make this video on Thursday because that was one of Kabam Mike's jobs to give us the new champions in the CCP, and since he left it was a bit delayed. So yeah, they just gave us the arcade in the beta, so I'm making this video right now. So first off, let's talk about his abilities and then we're going to go for some gameplay. So it's a lot here, but I'm going to try to make it as simple as possible. So basically you start the fight or each quest with 3 persistent charges, and then basically you spend those persistent tickets, that's what they're called, prize tickets, for one of those pre-fights. For the power up here, the first one you spend 1, and basically you use this for like domino, basically, because you just can't have your parry failed because you got more ability accuracy, more duration on it, and then you're also gaining incinerate immunity. On the second one, your opponent's true strike, true accuracy, true sense effects are not activated basically, and then you also gain poison immunity. And for the third one, your duration of the damage and debuffs cannot be reduced. This is good for like Fantman when we saw in like the deep dive, and that costs 3. So I would say those effects are pretty useful on attack just for the immunity, except for like some specific matches like Fantman or like Domino for the first one. So yeah, and then here for the color attack, he does gain more attack for each rank invested, and then for each for each unique personal damage and debuff, you reduce the opponent's combat power by 7%. And you can have like shocks, incinerates, poisons, and bleeds, which is quite a bit. Now here, the arcade tokens. What do they do and how do we get them? So the first thing, what do they do? They increase our armor rating and the potency of damage and debuffs by 10%. Now you gain 1 every time you would poison the opponent, and I'll tell you how you poison the opponent. And then here, while you have 10, you have a 100% chance to auto block incoming attacks, and this will also trigger parry, which is great. And then if you have 2 or more, while you're charging your heavy, you are gonna auto block them. Basically something like Quake, when you're charging heavy, she evades, this guy is gonna auto block, and then this does trigger the parry mastery, and also you inflict a shock when you auto block. Now this is the poisonous cloud. This is how you poison the opponent. So after the second hit of your heavy attack, you deploy this poisonous cloud. When the opponent enters it, you will gain 1 arcade token. And then for each second they are in this cloud, you poison them. So each time you poison them, you would gain 1 more arcade token, which is great, because you can really you want to really max out those arcade tokens at 10 as fast as possible, because you're tanky and you're also dealing more damage with your debuffs, because that's most of where his damage comes from. And then the last thing is got this booby trap where it's placed the defender's corner, and when they step on it, they have a 6% chance to throw a special, more likely to throw the special attack, which is nice. And then another thing you can do is when they are on the trap, you can charge your heavy attack and you're going to passively stun them for 3 seconds. However, this is going to explode the booby trap, and then it takes 20 seconds for that to rebuild. Just one thing to keep in mind. And then for your specials, he deals after the second hit of this attack, deploy poisonous cloud. You get another poisonous cloud, and then more shock debuffs. For the special 2, you inflict incinerates and bleeds. And then the special 3, it's pretty useless, I would say. I would never use this in any scenario, to be honest. I think it's like one of the worst things. You just inflict 1 permanent bleed, rupture, or shock debuff. Real quickly, let's talk about his awaken ability as well. Just before arcade auto blocks an attack, gain a non-stacking status buff for 10 seconds. Not too crazy. But then the second thing is pretty important. So when the opponent enters the poisonous cloud, you inflict a 15% torment for 5 seconds. I wish this lasted longer, and I wish it was more potent, because he definitely could use that. And this starts on pause, then is on pause when the opponent exits the poisonous cloud, and it maxes out at 3. Okay, so first off here, this is going to be without the awaken ability. As you can see, the pre-fight right there. We're going to use the third one just to gain shock immunity. It doesn't really matter for this Cyclops matchup, but this is like the 250k health pool. We can see how he can do here without the awaken ability. Without the awaken ability, you're gonna have like a little bit less damage because you don't have the torments. Even though they're not too strong, they're only like 15% at max sig. But yeah, let's see him here. He actually does have really good block proficiency. You can see he takes like 0 damage from parries, and he's also tanky with those charges, because each one gives him arcade tokens, gives him more armor, which is great. We ramped up really quickly because we activated the poisonous cloud, and then we basically just stood there just to poison him, and then we gain more. Here I'm going to use the heavy. As you can see, the 3-second stun. We consume the booby trap, and then we throw that special 2. Incinerates and bleeds. Now we're going to pop the SP1, I believe. And it's nice throwing this one in the corner because you do place that poisonous cloud. And because the opponent is just always on the trap, each second you will poison them, which is great. And then if you pair that with the booby trap, he's going to be, you know, more aggressive with those special attacks. So, you know, this wasn't like too fast, but it wasn't terrible, like 55 seconds. Up next here, this is going to be the higher health pool. And this fight will take forever because I will show you why the SP3 is really bad. Like, I would never use the SP3. I think it's just really bad. And one thing I forgot to mention is that Arcade has this ability where he can disable his special 3 with his 4th light attack. Basically how Phantom can do that. So yeah, we're definitely gonna showcase that here. And yeah, the SP3 is just bad. I don't even know why you would use it. So we are fully ramped up now. We're gonna throw the SP1 right here, poison him a little bit more. Now I'm trying to like push him in the corner so I can bait specials easier with the booby trap. And I think here I'm gonna like go for a special 3 so I can showcase the debuffs. But yeah, this fight is basically why you shouldn't throw the SP3. That's how I would name it. So we're gonna go for the first one. Real soon. You can do the heavy here and then go for another opening. 3 seconds is enough, which is great. And here we go for the special 3. We're gonna showcase the animation. It is actually really cool. Like, it has these 3 portals, and you can tell which debuff is going to be depending on what you see. So I guess this one is the shock or the incinerate. Yeah, it's the shock. So we get 1 permanent shock. And I think that they did a really good job with the indicators with Arcade. Like, now I know that I have the stun, as you will see, or I will know. Now, as you can see, there's no timer, so I can stun. I can go for a heavy to like stun him. But I actually sometimes want to like keep the booby trap because it just makes them more aggressive throwing the specials. And I do like it. As you can see, it is working. But I think now I'm gonna heavy him. Yep, perfect. And then let me skip through a little bit. Like, as you can see in the second SP3, we applied another permanent shock. And then for the third SP3, this is going to be the rupture. So we do have that rupture right there. And then here I'm going to show you that you can disable your special 3 with your 4th light attack. I'm going to showcase it right now. There we go. That's what you should do. You should never go for the special 3. I would never recommend you to throw a special 3. But this fight, it just lasted forever because I just threw 3 SP3s. As you will see, it's like over 3 minutes, I believe. Yeah, 3 minutes. It's just not worth it. Now, moving on to the Awakened gameplay. This is going to be the exact same fights, but this is going to be with Awakened ability, with the Torments, which is going to help a little bit. Not that much, but a little bit. It all depends how fast you ramp up. You might want to like start to like push the opponent towards the corner as fast as possible. I like deploying the Poisonous Cloud early on and just, you know, go back and forth, push him over the trap, make him stay there, and just build up your Arcade tokens. That's what I like doing, because you're also tankier when you do that, and yeah, you know, ramping up as fast as possible. I feel like that's the most important thing. So here I'm going to throw the SP1, and as you will see, we will gain some more Arcade tokens because we will poison him when the animation is going. The SP1 is probably my favorite special, I would say, because you just poison him, and I'm going to stack a lot of poisons on the next fight you will see. And I'm dealing a lot of damage. But the special 2 has such a sick animation too. This guy animation is just great. This guy's animations. They did a good job with him. It's a really nice character. But you know, I can't really ask for like better damage because his role in the game is basically a defender. So, you know, him being a bit of underwhelming in attack, it kind of makes sense. Definitely makes sense. He's got those like bullseye vibes, but not that much. Like, he's like okay on attack, but better on defense. You know, I'm not saying he's like as good as bullseye on defense, definitely not. But you know, that's his role basically. So I don't think they're gonna buff him. I would like his torments to be a little bit more potent, and maybe a way to like refresh your debuffs. That would be cool, because like you would be able to stack a lot of them, and he would actually be good for like longer fights. I can see him being good for longer fights and good defender. I don't think that would be too OP, because it wouldn't be too OP in like Alliance War or Battlegrounds, which is like the most competitive game modes. So yeah, it would be nice if you can just refresh every debuff, maybe with like, maybe something with your Cloud or something. Like if he stays for like 2 seconds there, you refresh or something. That'd be cool. But yeah, you will see that I'm gonna pop a lot of special ones in this fight. I just like it like this ones because you place those shocks, and then you also place those poisons, which, yeah, I think the poisons are dealing a lot of damage as well once you stack them. So there we go, we got one tournament. Unfortunately, it's really hard to stack them. And then he only lasts for 5 seconds is not the best. So I would say he doesn't even need the awaken ability because it doesn't like offer him too much. It is better for him, but yeah. I think if you pull this guy as a 7-star, it's better. Because he's gonna be a much better defender. So there's another special one. We got 2 tournaments now, which is 30%. 3 right now, 45. And you can see he's taking, he does take some damage. You know, it's not crazy. Another SP1 right here. We're gonna stack a lot more poisons, some shocks. Got 6 poisons. As you can see, man, if he's staying on that cloud, dang, it's cool. It's really cool. 11 poisons. Yeah, that was nice, dude. He is ticking now. You can see like almost 2,000 per tick. Not too bad. Get another Tormenton. Stack those poisons. There we go. 13 poisons, man. That's great. He's actually taking a lot of damage now. I wish I could showcase the Color Tech Mastery where he just, you know, reduces the opponent's combat power rate, but I actually don't have it unlocked. Yeah, it is actually pretty strong. 7% per debuff, per unique debuff. You can go up to 28% easily. And then you also get a little bit more attack. Did you see what I did there? So look at the auto block. As you can see, I consumed my charges and I auto blocked because I was charging my heavy. And then I'm gonna do that again. See, I don't know if you caught that heavy, but let me just... No, it's before that. So look at this. Did you see me charging the heavy a little bit? Yeah, I'm like doing an action. That's like a heavy. Because if it was a basic attack, I wouldn't be able to auto block. But because I charged the heavy, when you charge the heavy, you need to have only 2 or more. But for him to auto block anything, you need to have 10. So that's a cool mechanic, honestly. I feel like it's really good on attack, and it offers pretty good purpose on defense as well. So yeah, man, overall this guy, you know, he's pretty fun to use. Not too good on attack, obviously. His role is just a defender. I would love if they added like a little bit more stuff, like I said, you know, refreshing, or maybe like more potency on the torments would be nice. But I don't see them buffing him because he's pretty good on defense. But they did a pretty good job with him. He's pretty fun to use. So yeah, guys, let me know what you think about Arcade, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.